We have just hit 1 million views on YouTube. Some say that's how many times I've complained about the Redpoles this year. So a massive thank you goes out to everyone who has subscribed to the channel and regularly watches my videos. I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you very much. Now, coming up in today's episode of Breeding British Birds, we've got some more native finches hatched, we've got the first Norwich weaned, and we've got some hybrid excitement. Before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe down below. Let's hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Starting with the Redpoles, and actually we've had a success story this week, which is very rare because these birds have been a pain all season. So we've got some young normals hatched from a pair that we've previously bred from. We've got 2 youngsters already from them in the young bird room, and now we've got 5 actually in the nest, all being reared. They're all looking well. They're about 3 days old, so they're being fed on some egg food now and a couple of live mealworms as well. The parents are doing a great job, so it's going to be good to see how they get on, see how they progress, and fingers crossed, all going well, you know, we might get some more of them to the sticks. For the other pairs, well, a couple of them look like they might have finished now for the season, and a couple of the others are starting to rebuild, relay, and we're just going to have to see what we can do. I've just set some eggs on this hen today. There's another hen we've set some eggs on. There's another hen due this sort of weekend. So actually pretty good with the Redpoles, which is a nice thing to report. And, you know, keep your fingers crossed for me, please, and hopefully we'll get a few more. There's not an awful lot to report on the Greenfinches this week. We've got 3 hens sat on eggs. We've got 1 on 6, 1 on 5, 1 on 4. So, you know, there's a number of youngsters that could be coming over the next sort of 10 days or so. You know, and hopefully what would be nice is if we can get a couple more out, get them rung, you know, get them weaned off, and then that'll probably be the end of the season for them. You know, they're due in over a week's time. It's going to be the end of August before they're even jumping. So yeah, so pretty good with the greenies this week, but relatively quiet. You know, all 4 pairs are doing stuff. The first pair, they're starting to mess, sort of rebuilding. So yeah, pretty good with the greenies. A bit of sadness related to the Greenfinches this week is that we had to say goodbye to a cockbird who was, you know, his being a cornerstone of the stud that I'm building now of Greenfinches. This is a bird that we brought in last year from the Evans and Ponting line. Fantastic bird, and he fathered a number of youngsters, both cocks and hens. So I know that there's 2 cocks in here that are his sons, there's 2 hens in here that are his daughters, there's another cockbird in with a bullfinch we're going to talk about later, and you know, he's been a really important part of building my stud and has really made a massive improvement and a good baseline. Sadly we lost him. He took a dip in about May. We then lost him from there, and it's a real shame. You know, we lost him this weekend. He looked like he was getting rather skinny, rather dehydrated, and it was too far gone to do anything. I tried all sorts of medication. I just couldn't bring him back round. So it's a shame, but you know, that's part of keeping livestock. You get dead stock. You've got to account for it. You know, animals die, and that's, you know, that's normal. I wouldn't usually get affected by it, but because this bird has been somewhat special and important, you know, it was a shame to have to see him go. A few weeks ago, Sam1 Bird Products sponsored a video, you may recall, and he sent us a number of products. Now, I wanted to give you a bit of feedback on a number of them. I found a lot of them to be absolutely fantastic. So, beginning with the Oblivion Red Mite Control, I found this to be absolutely superb. I've used it in the water for the recommended 10 days, and it's been absolutely brilliant. I've noticed a decrease in the number of mites, of course, with normal control methods, and it has worked, it has done the job it needed to do. So, I do recommend if you can get some of that Oblivion Red Mite Control, you do so. I've also been using the amino acid protein feed, the Odyssey. That's been fantastic. Having that in the egg food definitely made a difference in making some of the youngsters grow a hell of a lot quicker than usual. And I've also been using the calcium and vitamin D3 supplement. Really useful, again, putting that in the egg food, and it's just making sure our youngsters are healthy and strong. It's been doing a fabulous job, so a big thanks to Sam1 Bird Products for sending us those products out. This week has been super exciting for our hybrid pairs. We've had an egg each from the 2 Redpole bully pairs. So I've since fostered them. One's under a Norwich and another is under a Redpole. We're going to see how they get on. Hopefully we might get a full egg from them. But what's more exciting is the Greenfinch bullfinch pair. We've had this pair together since October. They've been getting on well. I've seen them feeding this breeding season and I've seen them mate this breeding season as well. I had a bit more hope this sort of month. I've seen them getting on a hell of a lot better than usual, and lo and behold, it has clicked for us. We've got 4 eggs underneath her at the moment. 2 are clear, but 2 are full, so we've got 2 full eggs from the Greenfinch bullfinch hybrid pair. So I'm amazed for one. I'm really over the moon with that. I'm really excited with that. I'm just hoping, keep your fingers crossed, that we might have some Greenfinch bullfinch hybrids on the way. That would be superb. So they're due in about almost 10 days time or so. It is early stages of development. She was off the nest, so I thought I'll pop a torch to them, and 2 of them are full. So really good things, really exciting things. Make sure you subscribe. You do not want to be missing this. We've not had the greatest week with the Twites, I must admit. It's really disappointing. We had 5 eggs under it. I knew 2 were clear, I knew 3 were full. One of them had stopped developing, but 2 did hatch. They made it to about 2 or 3 days old and then they perished. I don't know why. I don't know if the parents stopped feeding them or what, but they were rather small. So it's really frustrating. Maybe they'll go for one more round, and if they do, that will, put them back till sort of first week in August, possibly, for any chicks even leaving the nest, providing we get that far. So really annoying, but the good news is that we have got another, a Twite chick, almost weaned off now, that was reared by the Razzers. It's doing well, it's being fed, and it is starting to feed itself as well. So really good things from them. That's 2 Twites now that are almost independent, so keep your fingers crossed. Let's try and, get these 2 done well. The final birds to look at today are the Canaries, and we've had a really good week with them, I must admit. It's been relatively all positives with them, so that's really good. We've now got a Portuguese Harlequin Canary and a Norwich Canary weaned off, the first 2. So they've gone on the Caraphil Orange, and we'll see how they molt out with that. I know that a Harlequin should be on red, but it's the only bird that I've got that needs to be on red right now, so I might as well put it on orange with the Norwich. I'm not too worried about showing the Harlequins either, so it should be okay. The yellow dimorphics are rearing a Norwich and a yellow agate opal. We've got a white Norwich, which is really good. It's a lovely looking little bird. I've just rung it recently, so it's doing well so far. That's a white tick Norwich, actually. It looks to have a bit of a cheek patch and a darker tail, but we'll see how it grows and fills out. We've got some more yellow agate opals that have just jumped the nest as well. For the other pairs, there's some more yellow mosaics just hatching, and they're a few days old now, so they're doing well. Some other pairs looking at building. We've got the Norwich back down on 4 eggs. Hopefully we might get some more of them. This will be the last clutch for them most likely. And the other pair of Norwich, the green to a cinnamon, just not doing anything. But a relatively good week with the Canaries, looking really positive. We've got a Razzer almost weaned off as well, so we're getting a bit of variety in there. We've weaned off the feeder chicks as well. They're doing well now that they're away from the parents and stop being plugged. So they're looking a bit rough and ragged right now, but I think that once they fill out, they're going to be absolutely fine. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of Breeding British Birds. I hope you've enjoyed it and found a couple of tips along the way. Remember, with the breeding season sort of dwindling down now, with it being sort of the last month, we are getting birds that are just not looking to breed now, and we can call that sort of the end of the season for them. So we're going to make sure that we do an episode now once every 2 weeks rather than every Saturday, as there's less to update you on, so we might as well put it in one episode and make it a bit more of a fun and more interesting episode. But don't worry, that we're of course going to be putting out the regular Saturday morning episodes and the Tuesday ones for the next few weeks, and they all should be really good. I've got a fantastic video planned for you next Saturday, so make sure to stay tuned for that with the notification bell on. So if you have enjoyed today's video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe down below and smash a like on it if you have. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.